Marge Gets a Job is the 7th episode of the 4th season of The Simpsons, directed by Jeffrey Lynch, and this aired originally in November 1992. And Marge takes a job at the power plant, which is interesting for a few reasons. First of all, Marge has a job, and that's always interesting because Marge is very often a passive character she's the glue that holds the family together, but we never really get to see her doing her own thing. Obviously, there are exceptions. There are certain episodes that focus a lot on Marge's own things. And it's nice when those episodes like this come along because we get to see a different side of Marge and we get to see Marge in a different environment. But it's also interesting to see her in Homer's environment. And maybe offers a glimpse of what it would be like if roles were reversed and Marge was the one working at the power plant and Homer was working, or rather staying at home and doing, looking after the children and doing what Marge does. I don't think Homer would manage with that very well. Mr. Burns becomes infatuated with Marge, and to begin with, it looks like that's just a nice thing for Marge to receive some positive attention. But Mr. Burns gets very possessive, and things become a little bit awkward. In fact, things become a lot awkward. There's also a very awkward but brilliant moment with Tom Jones. Tom Jones is the guest star in this episode, and it's a little bit random, but it works, and it's really enjoyable, and that's definitely something about it that made it a little bit more unique compared to other episodes. We also have a subplot going on here with Bart crying wolf, and that takes a very interesting and very unrealistic but fun turn. And I won't say any more about that, but I will say that I think it's nice to have that direct lesson in there. We do learn a lot from The Simpsons. I feel like The Simpsons makes us think about ourselves a lot and the way we the way we treat other people, the way we perceive the world. The Simpsons are the every family, and a lot of the time we can see ourselves in at least one of the characters now and then. But when it's a more direct lesson, like you should not cry wolf, I just think it's good fun and something that everybody should listen to. But yeah, Bart in this was really enjoyable. So it's not my favourite episode. If I were to watch an episode that I'd seen before, I would never really gravitate towards this one. Not because there's anything wrong with it, it's just not one of my favourites, although I probably would, watch the Tom Jones moments specifically. Marge Gets a Job is definitely an all-round, really enjoyable episode.